Well, let me show you the picture. This picture will allow me to tell you a story. So my first question to you is that anybody from you recognize this woman? Anybody who knows who this woman is? She's like a stranger, right? She doesn't look like a stranger. I have mentioned her name here as well. I guess it's visible to all of you. Her name is Agafia Lakova. Okay, and I will tell you a story about this woman, Agafia Lakova. She is an unusual woman. She was born in a forest. And why did she take birth in a forest? It's like not a normal thing. Her parents were not actually living in a forest, they were traveling through the forest. Her father took all of his family away from humanity, from human being. He did not want to live in a socialist Soviet Union. So he took all of his family, his two children and his wife, with the forest and started to live there. Then two more children were born in the forest, and Agafia Lakova was one of them. She was born in a forest, she raised in a forest, and she lived in a forest. And her family was alive at that time, but slowly, all of her siblings, her father, her mothers, they all died, and she was left completely alone. And she lived a solitary life, and she lived for 35 years in a forest. Can you believe? She lived for 35 years all alone without any contact with any human beings for 35 years. And she was discovered in 1978, and she was discovered interestingly by a group of geologists who were traveling inside the forest, and they found her. They could talk to her. Initially, her speech was quite blurred because she hadn't spoken to any human being for the last 35 years, but slowly she could speak more clearly. A very interesting thing which I will point out here is that when the group of geologists, the human beings she came into contact with, asked her that did she need anything at all, and she gave a very interesting answer. She said that her life was self-sufficient and she did not need anything at all. But if they could do her a little favor, they could give her, can you guess what? She asked for salt. She asked for salt. So my topic today, right at the moment, is salt. So the moral of the story is that we cannot live without salt. Salt is very important in our lives. Just imagine what would your life be if you have to eat your favorite food, your favorite pizza, or your favorite biryani without salt. Would you like to taste it, or would you like to eat it? I'm sure you all would not like to eat it because it would taste too bland. Okay? And so that's how we can see that how important that salt is in our life. And the chemical name of the salt is sodium chloride, and this is a very common and very important part in our lives. And just think of this salt cellar. Do you know where did this word salt cellar came from? Actually, in the past, there were people used to build a huge rooms to store salt because salt was so important at that time, and people cannot live without it. So people used to build a huge rooms to store salt. And do you know if you don't take salt, your body will rebel against your not taking salt. You will it will become poisonous to your body. Okay? And prisoners in the past were punished by making them not use salt. So see how important salt is in our life. But gradually, when the means of transport improved and people could and you know and when the salt can be easily transported from one part of the earth to another part of the earth, the salt cells decreased in size, and now we have these small containers on our tables. There were no more big, huge rooms. Now we have these small and little salt cellars on our rooms or in our tables. So that's how the salt cellars changed its meaning. And you can guess the importance of salt in our lives, that there are some proverbs and idioms in English that refers to salt. We refer salt and pepper. which means black and white, or a mixture of black and white. My favorite idiom or expression is salt of the earth, which means selected people of the earth, the people who are virtuous, the people who are loved by God, and the number of those people are very small, like pinch of these people, okay, and a pinch of these people can make the world a happier, a lovelier, and a beautiful place to live. So, my dear Toastmaster, I will end up my speech with the hope that you will use this salt carefully and would try your best and give your efforts to become salt of the earth. Thank you so much, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Role over the fun. He used to tell stories. That is how we as a human being love to hear stories. Congratulations, Toastmasters Khubaib, for telling us an amazing story of a person, Agustin Lakora. I remember that name because you asked a question. You started your presentation with a pictographs. It was the best part of your speech that you brought pictographs and elaborated and shown to us. It posted a great impact on us, and I will personally remember your speech. You were very confident, you utilized the space very well, even when you were picking the pictographs, you very smartly utilized that space and used that. You are very properly dressed up, so when for an incident of your speech, you are properly dressed up, your 50% of your confidence is boosted up. The story was amazing and it has a great motivational lesson. The lesson was that the salt is very important thing in our life. When you asked a question, it engaged the audience automatically. But I was not aware of the answer. I thought that I should answer that she asked for the basic necessities like food, clothes. My mind did not go to the thing that you elaborated, the salt. In your speech, you mentioned two uh, two sayings about the salt and pepper, and salt of the earth, and that was the message of your speech that we should all be the salt of the earth. So all these good things, the speech was very amazing. But there is always a room for improvement. I felt that your speech was missing some emotions and your voice modulations, and it was not linked with the conclusion. When you conclude, your opening was very smart, you're very good, very strong, and the body of your speech, you asked the questions, you engaged the audience with pictographs and questions, but your conclusion was not transitional, it was not linked with your strong opening. So you can work with the conclusions with some of your emotions. Otherwise, it was a wow speech. Thank you very much.